John Harbaugh has finally broken his silence, and what he said about his final season with the Baltimore Ravens doesn't line up with what most people expected. He claims it was one of the best coaching jobs of his career, which immediately raises a big question. If everything was working, then what actually went wrong? Because once you start putting the pieces together, the story starts to look very different. Harbaugh's exit wasn't quiet, and what he said afterward only made things more confusing, even after the Week 18 elimination had been let go. He doubled down on the idea that this might have been one of the best seasons his coaching staff ever put together. From his perspective, the Baltimore Ravens were well coached, prepared, and competitive. They just didn't get the final result everyone expected. And when a head coach says that with that level of confidence, it changes how you look at everything. It doesn't come across like an excuse. It sounds like someone who genuinely believes he did his job the right way. Which leads to a very direct question. If the preparation was there, if the team was organized, why did things fall apart again when the pressure hit? At that point, the conversation shifts. It's no longer about how the team played. It's about why it didn't work when it mattered most. And that's where the focus naturally starts to move. Because you can't ignore who was at the center of those moments on the field. This is where things really start to carry weight. Under Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson finished with a 3-5 record in the playoffs. And we're not talking about just any quarterback. This is a two-time MVP in his prime, leading strong rosters year after year. During the regular season, everything looked on track. But once January came around, the results just weren't there. And it builds up over time. This isn't one bad game or a fluke loss. It becomes a pattern that starts to bother a franchise. Because at some point, it doesn't matter how good you look in September or December. In the NFL, greatness is measured in the biggest moments. And when those moments keep slipping away, someone ends up paying the price. That's exactly the kind of situation that put real pressure on Steve Bischoff to making a decision. It wasn't just about stability anymore, it was about breaking a cycle that kept repeating itself. But that decision also opens the door to something new, and possibly something uncomfortable. Now happening outside of Baltimore. The story didn't end when he left. It just moved somewhere else. John Harbaugh is now taking over the New York Giants with a brand new project. And whenever a coach with that kind of track records gets another major opportunity right away, there's always a real risk. He proves that he still had more to give. It becomes even more interesting when you factor in development. If he can elevate Jackson Dart quickly, reshape the offense, and turn that team into a real contender, the comparisons to what happened in Baltimore will come back fast. And at that point, the narrative shifts. It's no longer just about what the Ravens gained from move on. It's about what they might have lost. And that's where things start to feel uncomfortable. If Harbaugh finds success away from the Baltimore Ravens, the doubts don't fade, they grow. Because in the end, everything circles back to one question. Did the franchise make the right move at the right time? Or did they walk away from something that could have taken them further? Looking at the full picture, one thing becomes clear. Harbaugh's departure wasn't just about one loss or one season. It was the result of repeated struggles in the moments that mattered most. Even with all the talent of Lamar Jackson and competitive rosters year after year, the Baltimore Ravens couldn't quite take that next step. And now, with this change, the franchises enter a new chapter that could define its future. But the biggest question is still out there, and it's impossible to ignore. Did the Ravens make the right call, or could they end up regretting it if success elsewhere? I want to hear from you. Was moving on the right decision, or did Baltimore give up too soon? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is far from over. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.